An alarming news story from Ethiopia. A few days ago, at a live chat, I told you about this coming crisis. The crisis will get worse this year and at the start of next year. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for watching. Three news stories in this video. Firstly, a report showing that Ethiopians are in trouble. Second news story is from Somaliland. A senior delegation, US delegation, is visiting Somaliland. That had led to start of speculations that US is going to recognize Somaliland as a country. And in truth, before these two news stories, few updates for you from Israel-Iran war. Everyone was waiting to see what Donald Trump, the US president, decides. Will the US join the war or not? I think announcement has come now. Just a few minutes ago, White House spokesperson held a press briefing, and the spokesperson shared a message from Donald Trump, the US president. The US president will make a decision whether to join the war or not within 2 weeks. Why? There is substantial chance of negotiations with Iran. That is why the US president has decided to make the decision of joining the war or not within the next 2 weeks. It means that US is not joining the war. Though US planes are landing in Israel, providing all types of weapons to Israel, why isn't Trump government joining the war? Well, Trump is sticking to his original policy. What was his original policy when the war broke out? He wanted Israel to put pressure upon Iran. He wanted Iran to sign the nuclear deal. Iran was not agreeing to it. So Trump greenlighted Israeli strikes on Iran. Purpose was that Trump wanted to put pressure upon Iran. But since Israel inflicted heavy losses on Iran, that is why people started speculating that Trump might join the war, US might join the war, and Iranian nuclear facilities could be permanently destroyed after the US participation in the war. Trump is sticking to his initial plan. He wants Israel to continue putting pressure upon Iran through drone strikes, missile strikes, and in the meanwhile, he wants talks with Iran, and he wants Iran to agree to a nuclear deal, which Iran might not have agreed in the past, but now when Iran is suffering more losses than Israel, Iran might agree to a deal which will be favorable to Israel, favorable to the US, favorable to the Western countries. And we know that tomorrow Iranian representatives are going to meet with the representatives from Germany, France, the UK, and European Union in Geneva. Talks going to start tomorrow. Will Iran show any flexibility or not? That remains to be seen. But the big news is that US is not joining the war. No direct participation of the US in the war announced by the US government. So next decision will be made within the 2 weeks after the talks between Iran and the US, Iran and EU. If talks fail, then US might decide to join the war. Now, second news story from Somaliland, where a senior US delegation arrived today, led by Richard Riley, the ambassador, and Africa Command Commander Michael Langley. Welcomed by Abdirahman Ero, the delegation held talks there in Somaliland, and that led to start of speculations that the US going to recognize Somaliland as a country, because a few days ago Scott Perry, a Republican submitted a bill for the recognition of Somaliland as a country. And people are linking this visit of US delegation to Scott Perry's bill for Somaliland recognition. Such delegations visited Somaliland in the past, so it's not very extraordinary, I think. US has been interested in building a military base in Somaliland. Somaliland, in fact, offered a military base to the US in return for recognition as a country. US did not agree to it. Somalia, in return, Somalia to counter Somaliland's offer, made an offer to the US to have a military base in Somalia. So far, the official policy of the US about Somaliland is one Somalia. It wants one Somalia. It is not in support of recognition of Somaliland as a country. So I don't see this visit as a big step towards recognition of Somaliland as a country. US concerned. Why? Because if Iran-Israel war continues, US would like to have more presence in the area, more military presence. Its Djibouti's base might not be enough, so it would like to have its foot on the ground in Somaliland. Somaliland will have to negotiate if US wants to get something from Somaliland, Somalia should get something in return. Last viewers, alarming news from Ethiopia. By the way, I did a video, a live chat a few days ago. In that live chat, I said that the new budget, which was approved by the parliament a few days ago, states that around over 60% of the budget will be met by taxation. Government will tax people, and this is how revenue will be generated, over 60%. And I said that taxation will be indirect taxation, like value-added tax, VAT, VAT on fuel, on sugar, on other items, and the effect will be large scale. Everyone will suffer. Cost of living will skyrocket. And this is what is being confirmed, though what I said is going to be felt by the Ethiopians in coming days. Already, the Ethiopians are feeling the pinch of cost of living in the country. Cost of living data has been compiled of African countries by an international source. The international organization has shared details in which country cost of living is the highest in Africa. Ethiopia. 53 African countries, Ethiopia on top. Cost of living means cost of food, cost of transportation, etc. Basic needs which people must fulfill, the cost of that. It's the highest in Africa. I found it very interesting. I mean, is it higher than Sudan, where war is ongoing? Is it higher than Somalia? Is it higher than Democratic Republic of Congo? Is it higher than Eritrea? This is what this source claims, that in Ethiopia it's the highest in Africa. And all that because of macroeconomic reforms, which Ethiopian PM is very proud of, introduced last year by the government. Government had to introduce the reforms to get a bailout package from the IMF and World Bank. Government takes credit for it. Government says it has been working on the reforms for some time. It's not at the orders of IMF that the reforms had been introduced. Those reforms led to decline in the value of birr. Birr to dollar exchange rate was 50 plus, 57, 56 before the reforms. Now it is more than double. It is over 130, I think. So birr considerably devalued. People's earnings did not record any increase, especially those who have fixed income, those who are low income people, government employees, for example. Their salaries have been increased, but not according to the decrease in the value of birr. That is why salaried class, low income class, they are suffering. And it's the start of their uh, miserable conditions, because in coming days you'll see increase in fuel prices, you see increase in the prices of basic commodities. Ethiopia needs money. USAID projects suspended. Ethiopia needs money for election. It needs money for DDR in Tigray. It needs money for corridor projects. Abiy wants to build a corridor project in Asmara, in Assab, while in his country, people are facing the highest cost of living, the highest in Africa. How will the people survive when in coming days government will impose more taxes, indirect taxes, which will affect all the people? Taxation should always be direct taxation on those who are billionaires, millionaires. They should be taxed. But once you impose indirect taxes on items like fuel, like food items, then you make the lives of people difficult. Thanks for watching.